Thank you for all coming today on short notice. In 2006, the boards of Arlington and Fairfax counties took their first votes supporting the Arlington-Fairfax streetcar. Those votes came after a lengthy planning process along Columbia Pike that identified streetcar as a transit option that best supported the community's vision for the Pike. I am very proud of that vote. It was in the Arlington tradition of building community by planning for the long term, marrying land use to transportation, and investing in our future. Over the years, the vision evolved with the addition of a second streetcar segment, stretching from Crystal City to Potomac Yard and meeting the Columbia Pike streetcar in Pentagon City. This streetcar system would spur high-quality, mixed-use development, add jobs, and revitalize several core neighborhoods. It would provide the capacity we needed to handle the growth in both jobs and population that we knew were coming to these areas, and to better connect Arlington to the regional rail system. To those of us who worked on this project, its benefits seemed clear, particularly now at a time when Arlington faces increased regional competition, when our neighbors are pursuing their own smart growth planning. We believe that a streetcar system would provide the economic stimulation and the placemaking that would keep Arlington competitive for decades to come. It would help fill the vacant offices in Crystal City and increase tax revenues, not only paying for itself, but for additional schools and services that our community needs. We have secured funding for the project without needing Arlington homeowners' taxes through the legislature's landmark transportation funding package and the McAuliffe administration's exceptional pledge to fund 50% of the project's costs. But we cannot ignore the political realities. On November 4, Arlingtonians went to the polls. They rejected the candidate who supported streetcar and voted convincingly for the candidate who made opposition to streetcar a centerpiece of his campaign. This was a powerful message to the board. How did we arrive at this point? We, the board members who voted for this project, the manager, the staff, were caught flat-footed when organized opposition to the streetcar surfaced in just the last year or so. We did not effectively make the case to our community. We needed to communicate more clearly on how a streetcar system would benefit our entire community and how we could pay for it without diverting funds from other priorities, like schools. We were unable to persuade a majority of voters that a streetcar system is Arlington's next generation of transit and that we could afford to build it. In Arlington, we have something called the Arlington Way. It means that this community makes the big decisions together through a long process of consensus building. It may seem mysterious to those outside of our community, but the Arlington Way is the glue that holds us together. It is a civic process that has helped Arlington make the dramatic transition from a car-oriented suburb with an aging commercial core to the vibrant and thriving community we are today. I believe that debating the streetcar issue further with continued discord and dueling facts will not serve our community and will distract us from addressing other pressing issues before us. I have come to the conclusion that the only way to move forward together to rebuild the civility and the consensus that have been the hallmarks of our civic life and our community's success for decades is to discontinue the streetcar project. After close consultation with Ms. Hines and Mr. Tejada, with our partners in Fairfax and in Richmond, and with members of the community, Mrs. Hines and I have agreed that all spending on Streetcar must end. Later today at our board meeting, I will offer a motion to discontinue the Streetcar project, and I fully expect that motion to pass. The county manager will begin the process of ending our contracts in an orderly manner, of shutting down the program, and of providing the board with options for improving bus service to the greatest extent possible. We also will direct the manager to assess the impact of this action on our land use plans and our ability to meet our established affordable housing goals. In the year to come, we need to focus on the most pressing issues facing our community. We need a community conversation about how to maintain one of the finest school systems in the world without starving the rest of our budget for funds, of how we broaden our commercial base as the federal government and private businesses continue to shrink their office footprint. We need to talk about sustainability, about how to share our limited public space, about how to ensure that Arlington remains diverse and inclusive, and how our children and their children will be able to afford to live here. This board remains committed to the community visions for Crystal City, Pentagon City, and Columbia Pike as more transit-oriented, walkable, and sustainable neighborhoods. And we remain committed to working hard and strategically with our business community to both enhance our competitiveness and improve transit throughout the county. I want to take this opportunity to thank all those who have worked so hard on the Arlington Fairfax Streetcar program